Hello and welcome to the Carnegie, Murrumbeena and all of Melbourne report. My name is Gary Peer.
And I'm yours, Samuel.
I think we shouldn't talk about all of Melbourne. We'll just concentrate on Carnegie, Murrumbeena and surrounds, Ormond maybe, Glen Huntly, Caulfield East. I'm not sure. Talk about whatever you like. In fact, talk about Carnegie, because it is called the Carnegie Report. If we talk about Carnegie now, how long has it been since we've actually been in Carnegie now?
As I like to say, Gary, on a permanent basis, because we've always been selling out of Carnegie.
Yeah.
But we opened up shop at 42 Koonang Road, March 2015.
That's 5 years.
Just over 5 years.
Just over 5 years, we've had our anniversary.
Lots happened since.
A lot has happened. We've sold a lot, and if I think about it...
grew a lot.
We did grow a lot. I mean, if you went now to, say you went to realestate.com, it's a big website, and you looked at Carnegie, and you see who's sold in Carnegie, who would be selling the most in Carnegie right now?
Well, we're proud to say, Gary, we would be. I was looking at the stats, funny enough, the other day, alongside with Jack Slater, who's kicking major goals in Carnegie.
He is.
But we're proud to say the last 12 months we've transacted the most in Carnegie.
Is that right?
On realestate.com, it's posted up in lights by that group as well.
Don't believe us. Go and check it out yourself, because if you don't believe us, or even if you don't want to believe us, or if you can't believe us, go check it out yourself. That's very good, and I'm sorry for those Carnegie agents who have fallen a little bit by the wayside, but it's good to be selected. We've always done well in Carnegie, but since we opened the door and since we merged with Thompson's, it's probably never done better.
That's right.
The Thompson's gentlemen are doing well. I say gentlemen because we haven't got a saleswoman from Thompson's. We'd love to get a fabulous sales lady in our office because we have lots of fantastic dynamic saleswomen across the group. And if you're a saleswoman looking for a job, please come and see us.
Great idea, Gary. Very much so. The female, very dominant agents within the Gary Peer group. Love to have a chat as well. Someone looking to get into the real estate business.
But the sales agents that we've got, well, David Thompson, of course, an auctioneer himself, doing brilliantly well. Dan Dyson doing brilliantly well. So a couple of additions from our team, from the Thompson's team or entity. And amazing to think how much we're doing now in such a short time. And of course, we're renting out lots of stuff and we're picking up lots of new clients for rental as well. So it's an exciting space, an exciting time. And I got to say, viewers, he works 24/7 at it in making Carnegie, Murrumbeena and surrounds absolutely our brand wherever possible.
Thanks, Gary.
Which has been great. Now, usually we start going about what's been sold. We're going to turn it around a bit and say, let's talk about what's coming up. Firstly, before we do that, how are the inspections feeling? You're out there on the beat, at the opens, with your team. What's happening in terms of open inspections? What are people gravitating towards? What's hot right now?
Well, as I always talk about, and we cover a lot of single-level villa units in Carnegie and Murrumbeena and surrounds. That's a very hot price point. That's sort of 800 to $1 million, Gary, 3 bedrooms. That is so hot at the moment. We just can't get enough listings of that. And I think at the moment as well, we're really down in terms of offerings around. We've had some great results, which we'll cover off shortly. But to answer your question, that price point, 800 to $1 million, or good family homes as well. There's a big lack of them as well. Although
it's funny, you don't get as much stamp duty relief there like you do at sort of 600. Is that 500 to 600 still strong as well?
Yeah, it's still strong. I think people upgrading from apartments into that next step can't afford that sort of 1.4, 1.5. That next price point up from a 2-bedroom is quite
more gradual increase. Okay, fair enough. Well, that's what's hot out there. Now, I know we've got something coming up that's been listed on Dandenong Road in Malvern East. David Thompson's been involved in this one. Can you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, that's a lovely near new apartment. Literally the Dandenong Road opposite Murrumbeena Road position there. Should go really well, this apartment. If you're looking for something modern, new, in terms of modern fit out, it's fantastic. 2-bedroom, 2 bathrooms. Check that one out. One
of 3 auctions coming up this Saturday through the Carnegie office, and David Thompson, the auctioneer there. Tranmere Avenue.
Tranmere Avenue is a lovely 2-bedroom apartment, Gary. Perfect for a first home buyer investor. You got to love the old solid brick 2-bedroom apartments in great pockets off Nearham Road. And
Arawatta. What a great address.
What a great address. Now, you talk about the market, Gary, and what's going on. As soon as the floodgates opened, that Mr. Dan Andrews allowed us fellow Victorians to open up to the public with 10 people in a property at a time. We were very busy with this one when we started.
I think we're going to be 20.
No, 20 after the 1st of June.
Okay.
But Aviv, my brother, and Mo from the office had this property open for the first time the week before last. When the floodgates opened, and when I say floodgates, 10 at a time that is, we've had a lot of buyers through the staggered open for inspections. Has dragged on a bit in terms of opening, but good numbers.
A popular auction this weekend.
Yeah, and I think also the fact that there's a lack of offerings like that at the moment. But yeah, should go well.
Unusual time for an auction, 5:30 p.m. in Poath Road, Murrumbeena. Now, last week you came down to one of your clients in Albion Street with your brother.
Yes.
And of course you did a fantastic auction there. Well done. Sold for $2 million and won that property in Albion Street, St Kilda East, way ahead of expectation. What do we think about this sort of 5 o'clock time slot for an auction?
I love the fact, Gary, that there's a limited amount of direct competition at that given time. So that's definitely one advantage for the Twilight event. Yep. This one here, it's a special home. So we thought we'd create a bit of an atmospheric vibe and have that one at a midweek auction time. But yeah, I love them. I think it's a great thing. We're filming these auctions too, live streaming them to the public as well for those limited numbers.
Can you see Albion Street on
Yeah,
cable?
we did. It was filmed.
If you want to see it now,
still get backtrack on or our Facebook page at garypeer.com.au, or the website or the Facebook page for Gary Peer. Check that auction out. But yeah, loving them.
Great property,
Twilight
Poath
auctions.
Road. Love
Beautiful
it.
home. 5 bedrooms, split over multiple levels. But congratulations to our owner. Years ago, created such a beautiful home with that period home.
In and around that mid-ones, a little bit over that. 54 Neville Street comes up after the Queen's birthday weekend, because we respect the Queen and the Queen's birthday. Take us through that.
Footy's due that weekend, isn't it?
Indeed.
The 11th it is.
Is it? Oh, I hope so.
I think after the 11th, always that Collingwood, Melbourne, Queen's birthday day. But yeah, footy's
Yeah.
back on. But before the footy starts, get your hands on this one. It's a fabulous home. You've got to love Neville Street, close to all the action, nestled between Grange and Koonang Road. But a good home here, plenty of family accommodation. Should go well as well.
Can't keep David Thompson out of Malvern East, can you? He loves it over there. And I think this one's going to be at the same time as Neville Street. And David is going to be the auctioneer. Tell us about it.
So 2-bedroom villa units. I keep talking about how popular they are. We managed it for a number of years. This property's just become vacant. So it's vacant. It's presented the most... Like, if you've got imagination, this home is so... it's fabulous because it's got courtyard space, Gary. It's got a garage close to Chadstone Shopping Centre, but a great one to park some money for an investment. Why would you want to have money in a term deposit at 1%, Gary, where you can park your money in some quality villa units in Malvern East? They don't come up often at this price point in Malvern East. It's with a median price of in that 17, 18 usually. What can you get for around that sort of high sixes, early
we
sevens?
go from Chadstone Road in Malvern East to Hobart Road in Murrumbeena. We've got 4 suburbs in those 2 addresses. Hobart Road, terrific property. Looks like it's a good value one too in that low.
Well, here Hobart's going up in value a lot the last few years, Gary. So this one here, it's a great entry point into that sort of 270 to 290. A lovely first home opportunity for a buyer, or investments love these type of pockets as well.
And it wouldn't be right for us not to feature this incredible property, Willesden Road, this converted church. I walked around the back the other day, saw the beautiful pool setting. This is a magnificent property in a great location in Hughesdale.
Yeah, it is. It's very unique in terms of the building structure and from what they converted this into in terms of family accommodation. It's quite a special home.
And that's an interesting location because I walked past it. It was just past Murrumbeena, just before we get to Oakley and that part of where there's so much happening, so many cafes and restaurants. It's such a buzz. Loving it all around there. Let's talk about some of the properties that are sold. Anzac Street, Carnegie, that was sold for a good $340,100.
Yeah, so we sold that one before auction, Gary. That was a great 1-bedroom apartment close to all the action near our office as well.
Let's move on to Rosebery Grove, also property where the price is disclosed. You want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, that was a fully renovated 2-bedroom apartment, England Huntley, also quite tightly held block there, sold for $546 before auction, a large 2-bedroom apartment.
Oakley Road is undisclosed. I don't know, the price range on Oakley was $840 to $900, and suffice to say it's sold within the range, but I know that was a fantastic villa, wasn't it?
Just one of those ones, as we mentioned before, that hot price point. Gary had a lot of buyers jumping at that before auction, hence it came to a close early on.
I don't know what it is about us with Cheltenham, but Cheltenham, Mentone and Parkdale are all great suburbs for this company. Whenever we get in there, we're like, it's like we're, I don't know, snipers or something. We go in those areas, we don't sell the most, but whenever we go in there, we always hit our mark.
We do, and this one here in Argus Street that we sold, we managed it, sold before auction as well. But yeah, that pocket there in terms of single level homes, yeah, it's a great point. That Cheltenham near Southland, Mentone, they're doing up the train station in Charman Road, Cheltenham as well. That's a great pocket also to invest some money in.
We finish off a little bit of Regal Royalty. We finish off in King George Parade, which is of course a very noble address in the suburb of Dandenong. Maybe not as noble as King George, but still we love Dandenong as well.
Yeah, well, we go everywhere. You know, back years ago, Gary, when you used to work in the Dandenong market, I believe, with your mother, you used to have a stall there back in the old day in the late 70s.
No, not my mother, but I was there, that's for
Okay,
sure, yeah.
you were there.
I was there with my partner, Philip Kingston, but not with my mother.
But yes, we do. We transacted in Dandenong as well. Yeah. No area, we have no issues selling in all areas, but yeah, this was a lovely home as well.
No property too big, no property too small, no area too far away for us to do a great job. It wasn't so far long ago we sold property in Tasmania, actually, talking about Hobart Street. It was in Launceston, wasn't it?
That's right.
We sold it from here, which was interesting as well.
Like a unit.
Although I don't think we collect the rent there. It's a little bit long, a bit far away to do the open for inspections and collect the rent. But that's a big wrap on the Carnegie Monthly Report. People are out. There's a lack of stock, which is probably even driving prices, maybe. So if you're wanting to sell, maybe a good time now. And if you're a buyer, well, you know, we wonder when this whole COVID's over, what's going to happen. But it may well be that a lot more buyers come out and compete with you. So if you're a buyer, now might be a good time for you to grab from those very slim pickings that are out there in Carnegie, Murrumbeena and surrounds.
That's it.
It's a big wrap on this report. Good to have you on board again. Thanks for viewing. We'll look forward to bringing you the news at the end of June to wrap up June, which is a busy month ahead. We're looking forward to it. I'm Gary Peer.
And I'm Leo Samuel. Thanks for watching and have a great week.